Hello friends, today we are going to learn Chapter 3 Separation of Substances. A pure substance is a substance that is made up of only one kind of atoms or molecules, for example, copper and water. A mixture is a substance that contains two or more different substances mixed together. The different types of substances present in a mixture are called its components or constituents. Types of mixtures. Based on the state of components that are mixed together, mixtures can be classified into three types: solid to solid mixtures. Example, salt and pepper. Solid to liquid mixture. Example, sugar and water. Liquid to liquid mixture. Example, water and milk. Based on the extent to which two or more components can be mixed, mixtures can be classified as homogeneous and heterogeneous. Homogeneous mixtures. The mixtures in which the components that make up the mixtures are distributed uniformly and cannot be seen clearly are called homogeneous mixtures. Air is an example of homogeneous mixture. We cannot see the different gases present in the air distinctly. Another example is a mixture of salt dissolved in water. Heterogeneous mixtures. The mixtures in which the components that make up the mixtures are not distributed uniformly and can be seen clearly are called heterogeneous mixtures. A mixture of oil and water is an example of heterogeneous mixture. We can see the oil. To remove unwanted materials or impurities from a mixture, for example, the separation of rice from rice grains, unwanted stones from rice grains or pulses before cooking, and separation of unwanted leaves from raw leafy vegetables. To get desirable oil, two substances, for example, in the preparation of tea, tea leaves are separated from brew of tea. Separation of mixtures into their constituents or components it is necessary due to the following reasons. To separate useful components from a mixture, for example by churning milk, the cream is separated from milk so that the both components can be used appropriately. Handpicking. This method of separation is based on the difference in the sizes, shapes, or colors of the components to be separated. In this method, the component that is lesser in numbers is picked out using hands. Substances that can be separated by handpicking are all types of food grains and pulses having stones, pieces of dirt, husk, etc. Threshing. The process of separating grains from stalks of harvested crops either by beating the stalks against a hard surface or by using a threshing machine is called threshing. Substances that can be separated by threshing are all types of stalks having grains such as wheat, oats, barley, and rice. Winnowing. The process of separating grains from chaff by the action of blowing wind is called winnowing. Substances that can be separated by winnowing are all types of grains that are covered by husk, such as rice and wheat. This method of separation is based on the difference in the weights of components to be separated. Sieving. This method of separation is based on the difference in the sizes of the components to be separated. The larger component is left behind the sieve while the smaller component passes through the pores of the sieve. The component to be separated should have particles having size smaller than the sieve pores. Substances that can be separated by sieving are the ones that have bran or impurities in them, such as flour and semolina. Wheat flour is sieved before it is used for making dough. During construction of buildings, stones and pebbles are removed from sand by sieving. Sedimentation and decantation. Sedimentation is the process of separating insoluble solid components mixed in a liquid by allowing them to settle down at the bottom of the container. This method of separation is based on the difference in the weights of the components of a solid to liquid mixture. In this method, the mixture is kept undistributed for some time so that the heavier insoluble solid components settle down at the bottom of the container containing the mixture. The solid component that settles down during sedimentation is called the sediment. This layer of clear liquid on top of the sediment is called the supernatant liquid. Sedimentation is then followed by decantation, in which the supernatant liquid is poured out carefully into another container without disturbing the sediment to separate the solid components from the liquid. The process of pouring out the layer of clear liquid without disturbing the sediment is called decantation. Sedimentation and decantation methods are used at home while washing pulses in water. The upper layer of water that contains the impurities is decanted and the sediments are retained for further use. Filtration, the process of separating fine, insoluble, solid components suspended in a liquid by using porous medium is called filtration. The pores of the filter should be smaller than the size of the components that have to be separated. Substances that can be filtered are dust particles, sediments, insoluble particles, etc. We can use this method of separation at home while making lemon juice or orange juice. The seeds and suspended pulp particles of lemon or orange can be separated from its juice by the filtration method. Evaporation, the process in which a liquid changes into its gaseous state is called evaporation. This method is used to separate soluble solids from a solid to liquid mixture. In this method, the liquid component is allowed to evaporate from the mixture, leaving behind only the solid component. Evaporation is used to obtain common salt from seawater. Seawater contains large amounts of salt dissolved in it. It is allowed to flow through narrow channels near coastal areas and is then collected in shallow ponds. The water in these salt pans is allowed to dry in the sun. As the water evaporates, solid crystals of salt are left behind. The salt is then collected and sent for purification. The purified salt is used to various purposes. Condensation, the process in which a gas changes back to its liquid state, is called condensation. The process of condensation is the opposite of evaporation. You might have seen tiny water droplets on the leaves of plants and on the mirrors of vehicles. These water droplets are result of the condensation process. This occurs when the water vapor present in the air comes in contact with a relatively cold surface of any object and then cools down to form dew. For example, in a glucose solution, glucose is the solute and water is the solvent. In soft drinks, carbon dioxide is one of the solutes and water is the solvent. Solubility, the property of a substance to dissolve in a given liquid is called the solubility of that substance. All substances do not dissolve in water. For example, when salt is added to water and stirred, it dissolves completely in water. But even sand is added to water and stirred, it does not dissolve in water. Substances that fit to screen by in water are said to be soluble in water. Saturated solution, a solution in which no more solute can be dissolved in the solvent, is called a saturated solution. Is it possible to dissolve some more solute in the saturated solution without increasing the quantity of the solvent? If so, how can we do that? This can be done by heating the solvent. Are there any other factors? This is by increasing the temperature. Some more solute can be that it can increase the dissolved in the solvent solubility of a solute. The solubility of a solute in a solvent can be increased by the following factors. A. By increasing the amount of solvent. B. By stirring the solvent. C. By increasing the temperature of the solvent by heating.